my last race on a mountain bike didn't go too well. Gave me some hardware here, so it's kind of a little bit of redemption, and yeah, happy to feel good and comfortable, and only upwards from here.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Diverge Podcast. This week we look back on the opening round of the Ford Trailseeker Series, where Marc Pritzen and Candice Lill started off their 2026 seasons with victories. Pritzen, of course, the premier marathon racer in the country. Lill, the best woman over all distances and disciplines. I think it's safe to say has definitely been over the last few years. And although she won't be racing much marathon this year, definitely the top racer across all off-road disciplines in South Africa, I would say. I don't think that's contentious at all. Then outside of races that have happened, races that are coming up, the Garden Route Giro has announced 700,000 Rand prize purse, 100,000 Rand to the winning man and winning woman. And then the FNB Wines2Whales opened entries for 2026, going back to the original Lawrenceford to Hermanus, or Benguela Cove rather, route. We presume it's Benguela Cove. That hasn't been announced yet, but we assume so. And then the Tankwa Trek is on the horizon, and the elite field has been announced. Stay tuned to find out who is racing in the Kohe-Bokkerveld this weekend. Starting off with the news, though, and the little bitty pieces that have been happening over the last week or so. Garden Route Giro, 700,000 Rand on the line for the inaugural edition. That takes place in April, of course. 100,000 Rand for the top man and 100,000 Rand for the top woman. There are leaders' jerseys as well and points competitions. So the leaders' jerseys, a darker yellow for the men's general classification leader, a lighter yellow for the women's. There's a purple jersey for the sprinters and a peachy pink rosé colored jersey for the climbers. That's in the elite competitions. And then there's a very beautiful midnight blue for all the age categories, slightly lighter, not quite midnight, 11 o'clock a jersey for the women's age category leaders. You have to check those jerseys out to see just how beautiful they are. And that story, as well as all the other stories, you can, of course, read on diverge.info. Those have to be seen to be believed, really. But yeah, stunning jerseys there by First Descent and Dryland. And I think that race is shaping up to be a fantastic first edition. It's going to be really cool. A little bit more hospitality around it as well, staying in some really nice towns. Some nice small towns in the Garden Route, Hessequa, and the Klein Karoo. I think it's going to be a lacquer edition. It's going to be exciting to see who comes out and races it as well, because of course, as always, that sort of makes or breaks the event, doesn't it? Then Wines2Whales, they've opened entries for the 2026 edition. The Chardonnay, Shiraz, and the Pinotage being the midweek e-bike race. Those dates, the 6th to the 8th of November for the Chardonnay, the 9th to the 11th for the midweek Pinotage, that's the Monday to the Wednesday, and then the 13th to the 15th of November for the Shiraz, the men's race. Heading from Lawrenceford this year to Oak Valley on stage 1, play day around Oak Valley for stage 2, and then Oak Valley down into the Overberg towards Hermanus, not finishing in Hermanus. We presume it's back at Benguela Cove again this year, but that's yet to be confirmed when they announce the route. No reason for it not to go back to Benguela. And that last single track down from the Cavadas Kraal Road to Benguela Cove is, that's going to be a highlight again if that is the finish, because it's like a racetrack going down there. Just so smooth and flowing, really, really an incredible trail. But of course, there'll be lots of other trails as well. JK and the Cape Trails team will be hard at work over the winter months. Once the soil softens up a little bit, and building their usual fantastic trails. And as is JK's want, they will probably be building new bridges as well. So look forward to that. Stay tuned for more on that as we get closer to Wines2Whales at the end of the year. Coming up on the closer horizon, though, is the Tankwa Trek. And the Momentum Medical Scheme Tankwa Trek is, it's always a fantastic event. The who's who of South African stage racing is there. There's always a couple of big name international riders as well. And this year is no different. The Singer KTM guys are out, so they've sent 2 teams. They've been training in South Africa. I presume they're here all the way until the Cape Epic, actually. Andreas Seewald has been on good form already this year. He's racing with Jaco Hartmann. Yaki broke his wheel in Attakwas, which was his first race back from since pulmonary embolism stopped his 2025 season in June. So I think they are probably the stronger of the 2 Singer KTM teams. Though you underestimate Simon Stebian and Martin Frey at your own risk. They were second last year, of course. So they'll be looking to go one better, I suppose. They are very consistent. They know exactly how to get it done. And Stebian has won the Tankwa Trek before as well with Urs Huber. Potentially won it earlier than that too, back in the early days of the race as a solo rider in like 2014, before they sort of tied down the team format as the only format at Tankwa Trek, which they did about 4 years ago now. It was probably 2020, maybe 2019, 5 years ago. But yeah, now only teams racing in the Tankwa Trek. No more solo riders mixing it up. But in those very early years, it was a little bit more of a free for all, and I think Stevie won one of those early ones. So yeah, he's always good to watch there at the Tankwa Trek. The other teams to watch is the Toyota Specialized Mbuko team, Marco Hubert and Tristan Orkier. They're the defending champions, favorites for the men's race, I would say. Marc Pritzen has been on great form as well for Honeycomb 226s. He's racing with Felix Deli. Felix, unfortunately, big condolences to Felix. His mom passed away last week. So yeah, you wonder if he'll be able, understandably, be able to focus on the racing, or if he'll be looking to that as a good distraction. That sort of remains to be seen. Would not be surprised if Felix has more important things to deal with than bike racing at this point. Though if he does choose to race and to channel all that he must be feeling now into his racing, they'll be a team to watch out for. Insect Science as well. 2 teams there, Jan Vertor and Johan van Zyl teaming up. And I think Arnaud de Toy and Wessel Botha will be mixing it up right at the sharp end there as well with the Honeycomb 226s, Toyota Specialized Mbuko and Singer Racing guys. Wessel came close last year with Marc Pritzen, crashed out on the last stage, suffered a concussion. So he's got some amends to be making there at the Tankwa Trek too. A little bit behind those, Computer Mania is in the mix, and a couple of other teams as well. Read that story on the website. By the time this goes up, the story should be live, and you'll be able to see exactly who's racing the Tankwa Trek in the men's race. Women's race, Vera Laza and Samantha Saunders are the teams to watch there. They're not racing the Epic together, of course. You'll have seen that Vera and Rosa van Dorn are racing together. Samantha Saunders and Bianca Hoare, not been announced yet, are racing the Epic together. So it's the chance for Efficient Infinity and Sure to show off their colours with their premier riders racing together at South Africa's premier 4-day stage race. So they're the favourites. They'll face some competition from Sarah Kortenovas and Greta Seewald. Stiff competition. Greta was second last year at the Tankwa Trek, suffered lots of punctures, will have learned a lot from that. Sarah has grown immensely as an athlete over the last year. The 2 Italians will be strong, especially on that punchy 32-kilometer opening stage on Thursday afternoon. I think they could do well there. Safari Essence Titan Racing as well, Danielle Dutoy and Roxy Kemp. Yeah, finding their feet a little bit as a team, and their first start together racing in a pair. I think for Roxy, who's been pretty nervous the first two races of the season, Tankwa Trek is a good way to settle those nerves, just get into the swing of things a little bit more with stage racing. Those 4 back-to-back days on the bike, and I think she will get stronger as the race goes on. So those are my 3 top women's teams to look out for. There's a deeper women's field, and to find out more about those and who's racing, you can go onto the diverge.info and read the story. We'll be at the race and bringing you race coverage as well. So stay tuned for that. Then on to last weekend and the Ford Trailseeker, the opening round in Banhoek, starting and finishing at Prestige Wine Estate. In the men's race, Michael Foster racing for Ford Prime Bunch now, and their blue kit really does look very cool. Michael Foster, Ford Prime Bunch, set the early pace. He split the field, and Jordan Saru, Matt Beers, Luke Moyer, and Marc Pritzen managed to get away with Foster. They raced through the Banhoek trails, did the first big climb, and then after that the pace slowed a little bit. A group of 11, so there were 5, a group of another 6 came back to them, so there were 11 of them all together. Tristan Norkier, Marco Hubert was there, Ernie Roots was there as well. It was cool to see. Johan van Sale, good selection. Andreas Seevold, good selection of riders in that group. When it split again, going back into the Boschendal trails and the climbing restarted, it was again those top 5 that managed to get away again under the emphasis of a Michael Foster attack. Jordan Saru was the first to drop off from that group, and Michael, as you will hear, just mistimed it a bit, misjudged it, wasn't aware that it was the penultimate climb that he was attacking on rather than the last one. He managed to get a little bit of a gap, came back together with Matt Beers, Marc Pritzen, and Luke Moyer, and then Matt attacked, caused a bit of separation there. Michael popped. Luke started cramping, and Marc Pritzen managed to drag himself back to Matt, led into the last single track descent. And then because Matt had ridden the finale that morning, he knew exactly where to go inside the last kilometre. Got round. Marc Pritzen held primacy on the trails, priority on the trails really, led into the finishing straight. And with Marc having crashed out last year on that final bend, he was unwilling to take any major risks to try to force his way around Matt, and Matt was able to win at a bit of a canter without a real sprint finish. Marc Pritzen was second, just 1 second back, then Luke Moyer third, Michael Foster fourth, and Jordan Saru fifth. The full story of that is also on diverge.info with all the results as well, if you want to see who finished 6th to 10th, and click on the link to see where your other favorites finished. But yeah, it's always a great race, always spicy. The cross-country guys like Luke Moyer, like Michael Foster now, Jordan Saru, coming into the race, maybe not with the endurance this point of the season as they're focusing on explosiveness rather. It's a 2.5 hour race, so a good hour longer than they will be racing for the rest of the season. Matt was just a class apart without really having to be a class apart. So after the race, we chatted to some of those riders, and here they are. That's what they had to say about the Ford Trailseeker Banhoek, starting with Matt Beers.
Matt, great way to start the year with a really tough race and then a victory.
Yeah, obviously my last race on a mountain bike didn't go too well. Gave me some hardware here, so it's kind of a little bit of redemption, and happy to happy to feel good and comfortable, and yeah, only upwards from here.
And the cross-country guys made it pretty hard out there at stages today. Looked like you were climbing well as well. And yeah, tell us how you managed to get away.
Yeah, there was never really a spot of difficulty. It was hard, but like it was a good pace. Yeah, I mean, what's Jaden? What's his name? Michael. Fuck. Michael was like beast as he always is, just hammering. And he caused quite a lot of the split today. So, yeah, great ride from him. And then Luke, Mark, and I got away at the end, and Jay and Michael, and yeah.
And how did you manage to drop Luke and Michael coming into Pinotage?
Mark was heading down the first single track really hard, and I was on his wheel. I think Luke was dealing with some cramps, and then I rode the finish this morning, the last like K&a-half, so I knew exactly where to attack if I came in with someone. Did it to perfection, and that's all she wrote.
And as you said, first Trailseeker in the world, very lucky to take the win.
Yeah, I haven't ridden one of these in 2 or 3 years, so yeah, to get a win, and it's always nice.
And where do we see you next? Not racing Tankwa Trek?
No.
Cedar and then Bupa?
No, not either. Racing a gravel race tomorrow in Caledon.
Yeah, that's fair. Thank you. Mike just spoke to Matt. They said you made it really tough on the guys today. Did a lot of work on the front, split it up. You happy with how the race went?
Yeah, it's just went hard at the start, trying to split everything up. There's a lot of strong guys here, so yeah, in a big group, it's not so lucky to ride in. Yeah, and then yeah, kind of split everyone up, and then yeah, on the last, I think second to last climb, I thought, nah, it's my time to go. And like, I don't know, Matt and Luke were a little bit behind, and then yeah, we get to another big hill, and I thought that was the last hill. Go up another one, and yeah, that was me. They kind of left me, and Mark caught up again. Yeah, but good day. The legs are there. Yeah, just not the timing of when I put the watts out.
And good to get a good result in the new colours as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's new team, same setup. Yeah, a little bit of a different approach to the year. I'll be focusing more on cross country. Yeah, not really on the normal South African calendar. Yeah, but Philip and Peter will carry on as usual in South Africa.
Will you be racing World Cups or Swiss Cup, or what's the plan?
The plan is World Cups. Yeah, so really exciting opportunity for me. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Just a tough race today. Yeah, the guys went out pretty hard. It looked like when the climbing started, of a big group initially, and then as soon as the climbing started, it broke up. Where were you in that part of the race?
Yeah, as we knew, this Banhoek Trailseeker, the first 20k is always like all out. Like, I think harder than a cross country, just the positioning and the sand in the corners. And yeah, on the first climb, it split up. Yeah, I lost the group there, and then because it was just too hard, I backed off and tried to manage myself, and then yeah, I finally caught back up after Banhoek because they all sat up, and then yeah, it was literally just survival from there to the end.
Well, when they went again, was it Michael that drove the pace on it again that second time when the group split up after Banhoek?
No, I think it was either Luke or Matt. I think it was Matt that just put the pace on the last climb, and then yeah, I couldn't actually see because I got dropped, but yeah, I'm actually happy how it went. This is not our team's type of racing, so yeah, we take big positives from today and looking where teammates finished, and yeah, we're looking forward to the longer days, and this is only a short day, so yeah, we're happy how we did.
Teammates nicely balanced already at this part of the season. Tankwa Trek up next, and then the Buka Big Five.
Yeah, exactly. There's always a preparation race for us just to open the lungs, and yeah, teammates wise, in our team, we did quite well. If you look where we're positioned, teams wise. So yeah, with team racing coming up, it looks positive, and we can't wait to get the long stages and long days going.
And at this stage, the team's still lining up as you had them on paper. Yourself and Marco and Travis and Jaden.
Yes, yeah, that will be our teams. If nothing happens, touch wood, but yeah, that will be our teams. Yeah, can't wait for the Tankwa track.
He's a bit of a rude awakening start to the year, eh? Tough out there.
Yeah, no, we knew it was going to be tough. Good day to open up those cobwebs that have been sitting throughout December. So yeah, intensity caught me out a bit in the end with some cramping, but yeah, happy with how things are, happy with how I raced the first half. So yeah, a few things to work on and some good signs for the rest of the year.
How's the new bike?
Bike is awesome. There's some settings that you can change with the flip chip on the rear and the front. And yeah, I finally got it dialed, and today it was really phenomenal. Our mechanic worked really hard yesterday getting bike sorted, and yeah, really happy. And thank you to the Insect Science team for everything and all of our partners.
In the women's race, Candice Lill had it a little bit easier than Matt had it. The women rode through the first sort of 10 kilometers or so in quite a big group. And then when the climbing started, Candice and Alessandra Keller put the hammer down. Through Water Point 1, 17 kilometers in, Candice led with Alessandra Keller, who's of course her epic partner. Vera Lauser was in that group as well, as was Tyler Jacobs and Sarah Kortenovas and Hayley Preen. The group then started to split a little bit. Alessandra punctured, and with her out of the fight for victory, Candice simply rode away, spent about 30 kilometers on her own road to victory by 3 minutes and 18 seconds over Tyler Jacobs, who rode a really impressive race because she was on her own for that whole time, then the whole 30 kilometers after Candice dropped her. She was the last one to be with Candice. And yeah, I think just another impressive performance by young Tyler. And yeah, hopefully this year will bring lots more great things for her on the cross-country circuit. I think having won a under-23 XCC event, this year the big target for her will be to win a proper, a full course cross-country. And that is very, very much within her reach, I would say, with the way she's going now and the way she's just growing from strength to strength and gaining confidence in herself and her abilities as well. Behind her, Alessandra Keller recovered to finish third. She charged through the course, charged past Vera and Hayley, but wasn't able to catch Tyler. Tyler was, I think, 25 seconds ahead of her on the line. Vera ended the day in fourth, and Hayley Preen in fifth. As with the other stories, you can read that on diverge.info as well. But more importantly, perhaps, here are the riders and what they had to say, starting with the champion of the Banhoek, Candice Lill.
Candice, first race of the year, first win of the year. Must be really good way to start the year.
Yeah, I don't think you can start the year a nicer way than with a win. I haven't raced since last year, October, so took some nice time off. I've had a really solid pre-season. Just been really consistent, and I could feel today that, that was a really good start, and I'm in a good place to go into the rest of the season.
I know you don't like comparing yourself to other people. It's more about your own performances and hitting the numbers that you want to do, but also still must be good to get a victory over Tyler and Alessandra as well. It's good company to be winning in.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, Alessandra had a puncture. It would have been really nice to ride with her because she's obviously my Cape Epic partner. And there were some open sections out there where I think we could have worked together quite nicely. But yeah, she also had a really strong ride, came in third. And from Tyler, an amazing second place. Obviously, it's nice to be ahead of them, but I'm really proud of Tyler, especially for the second.
And you just got to teach her not to crash.
Yeah, I'm going to tell her, as soon as you're not riding with me, then you're crashing. What's going on?
How's the new bike and how are you feeling on it? Obviously, it's very different. You were on Cannondale for a long, long time.
Yeah, I've been on Cannondales for 9 years, we were discussing now. So it was really hard. I didn't actually even know what other bikes were like at all. So it's been interesting for me. I managed to get my setup very similar. So as when I'm on the bike, it feels the same, but the bike feel and the ride is really different. It's very responsive and playful with a shorter wheelbase, so I'm really enjoying that, especially in these kind of trails.
The first race of the season, how was it out there?
It was so much fun. The trails were awesome. and the competition was amazing. So it was a really good test.
Good test to be able to race Candice and Alessandra so early in the year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always cool to have overseas riders and to actually see how strong the South African competition is. Yeah, that's really nice.
What were the trails like? You had a little fall. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was quite stony and loose, and I just slid out on one of the flat, shaly corners. But I managed to get back up quickly and then regain my composure, and then it was all good.
And that's where Candice got away from you?
No, she got away a bit before that on the first major climb.
So after that, just on your own?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I was on my own.
Vera, tell us about your day.
Yeah, it was a tough day, but it was actually good. It felt so good to race again, to battle it out of the strong field. It was, quite a chilled start, I would say. And then once the climbs came, it got really, really hot out there. The legs played a good role, but then at the end, I could feel them. So happy with fourth. It's early in the year, but yeah.
Good start to the year, but also a good marker for some work that needs to be done.
Yes, definitely. I think this was the first proper high intensity I've been doing this year. It definitely hurt, but I'm looking forward to do some more before some bigger goals coming up.
And then obviously staying in Stellenbosch for the next couple of months. Looking forward to riding these trails here as well.
Yeah, I love Stellenbosch. It's also almost going back to my varsity days. I love this area. I love the people here. It's just everything is great here. The weather, so it couldn't be a better place for this time of the year.
Ellie, how was the Trailseeker? It was really tough out there, sandy in places, and Candice, Tyler, and Alessandra made it really hard.
Yeah, they made it really hard. Sandy, tough, rocky, unforgiving, but yeah, it was a good day, a fun day.
What did you enjoy most about it?
Banhoek is always amazing. Yeah, that place is the best.
And this, you feel like setting you up well for the year. 2 races under the belt, a victory a couple of weeks ago, and now 5th place today in really class field.
Yeah, definitely. I'm feeling good. Had a really good start at Tankwa, and today I'm really happy. I've had a really big couple of weeks of training, so I am tired today. But that's part of training, bigger goals ahead, and yeah, just excited for what's to come.
Where do we see you next?
Road Nationals next weekend.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Of course, the problem that this creates for Faces and the Ford Trailseeker Series is that Matt Beers will be racing Lifetime Grand Prix, Candice will be racing World Cups. So the two of them won't be in contention for the 1 million rand, because it's probably the last time they race the Ford Trailseeker Series this year. Maybe they'll squeeze one in right at the end of the year in September. But yeah, it's probably doubtful with their busy schedules. Actually, it's not going to happen given when World Championships take place. So this will be their last races of the year. And that then means that all that's to play for is 100,000 rand, which is still not to be sniffed at by any means, of course. 100,000 rand for the winning man and winning woman for the most points overall in the series. Trailseeker have simplified their point scoring system with the top 20 in the elite races scoring points this year. 40 points for a victory, down to 1 point for 20th place. And yeah, I think if you look at who is going to compete across the whole series, you got to go down to riders in like 6th and 7th in both the men's and the women's races. So no one banking those big 40-point hauls there, or close to that, all sort of coming in with lower points haul, which keeps the race or the series nice and open at this point in the season, and that's going to be a narrative to follow throughout the year. The next race in the Ford Trailseeker Series is on the 2nd of May in the Cradle, I believe, and that's it's a great place to ride your bike and cradle moon, lots of game sightings as well. So one to look forward to once the chaos of the Cape Epic and the gravel of the Garden Route Giro in March and April have passed. The other little insightful and exciting bit of news from the Ford Trailseeker is that Candice Lill will be racing the Cape Town Cycle Tour, but without Kim LaCourte in the race. We'll see how Candice's tactics change, because she's not a rider you would think would be wanting to let that race come down to a sprint finish, especially with the likes of Hayley Preen in the field. And maybe Tyler Jacobs could be convinced to race on the road as well for that. So Candice will have to look to how the 2025 cycle tour was won and see if she can go on a long range attack on her own, as she does so successfully on the mountain bike, because I think that's probably her best chance to win the Cape Town Cycle Tour. But getting well ahead of ourselves for now, it's best to look a little bit closer to the future, to the Tankwa Trek and this weekend's action. I'm bringing you that on social media, of course, and on the website. And in the meantime, thank you very much for tuning in to the Diverge Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. Until next time, cheers.